Okay, well, welcome everybody. It's another Chess Rivals. I know what you're thinking, Danny. Did you roll out of bed for this one for us? Thanks for getting a shirt on. Yeah, I feel that way. I did just come back from the gym, so this isn't like a just woke up. This is hey, just came back from the gym, and I'm trying to shield you from the truth, the sweaty here, right? So we got this chess.com cap in the office. Hashtag CrossFit. Hashtag get some. Today we got a newcomer cucumber to the Chess Rivals series. We're going to be doing this more often. So many people want to get in on the action here that Johnny B and I started. So I'm going to invite Mr. Keaton Kiewra, the legend himself, to his first ever Chess Rivals bullet match. He agreed to play 1-1 to start. We're going to be playing a best of 12 like Johnny B and I have done so many times. So first to 6.5 point wins. And here we go. Should be starting any second. Closing out of these games I was observing. Now, Keaton and I, we could make magic on the board. All right. John and I, we kind of make babies on the board because we love each other so much. But Keaton and I could really make some magic because he and I both have these like incredibly aggressive repertoires, and we're just not afraid of really letting it all hang out. I expect some dragons. I expect some Yugoslav attacks. I expect things to get weird. Should be fun. I'm playing this early accelerated B5 line because, well, I don't think this is the most challenging approach for white to play because I've kind of got a good Benko. I've already established that I'm going to have the B file for counterplay, and that should be fun. So now I'm going to develop my knight out, bring it to C7, sort of intending to just support the center, prevent E5 from ever being a transaction that he can go for. We'll play rook to b4, see how he wants to deal with that bishop. He'll probably play... Ooh, I actually like that for me. I was going to say he should probably not do that. But now, what's the scenario here? Am I really worried about his attack? Not really. What I want is just to get some space on the king side. Notice I'm definitely playing slower than Keaton. I wonder if that's nerves or I just haven't woke up yet, or if he's just like, treating this like most people treat bullet, which is you got to play fast. I guess I've played so many 1-1 games versus 1-0. I feel like I treat 1-1 like I have all the time in the world, which probably isn't a very good decision by me, honestly, because I really don't have all the time in the world. I have more time than usual, but I don't have all the time in the world. But okay, I think that the position as far as it's going is evolving to be okay for me. Seems to be headed a pretty good direction. Solid direction. We'll take there. Oh, that was just a blunder of the rook. Ah, going down the exchange now. Duh. Okay, well, that was knight takes c3 was a blunder. I went immediately from winning a pawn to blundering the exchange. So it seems like the latter is proving to be true. I need to wake up, not that Keaton needs to speed up. So, yeah, he's just going to win a whole rook, I think. I don't think there's anything I can do about it. So I'm probably just going to resign and move on to the next game. That's always frustrating when you go immediately from having an advantage to blundering. So what should I have done here? I guess just move the queen, right? Yeah. Hashtag don't be dumb, Danny, right? That's actually a really good move. Attacks the knight, which is under fire. He can't play b3 because c3 hangs, so he would probably take, and I would have a choice to either take with the knight or the rook on d5. Even the rook seems fine because if he had takes e7, I would take c4. So, okay, that's disappointing. A well-played middle game reaches a solid position, but knight takes c3, blunder the rook. So, pull it together, wake up, get your stretch on, get your game on. Let's play e4. I know he's going to want a dragon. See, Keaton doesn't shy away from what he does. That's one thing I really like about Keaton. Is he doesn't shy away from the openings that he wants to play. He's just going to play them all the time. And he's not going to be shy about it. And I like that about him. But, okay, so this is a little bit of a different move order than he normally does, right? This isn't a traditional dragon, this early knight f6 on move 3. Not sure it means that what I'm playing is the best either, but we're certainly not going to be in the type of Sicilian I was exactly expecting to get against Keaton. What's the evaluation here? Material, we're just equal, right? Material's equal. Strategically, You know, I don't really want to hold on to the C pawn. What I'd rather do is try to get rid of all those pawns and just, you know, maybe bring some pieces over to the king side. He knows that that's what I'm going to do. And he says, but I'm going to call your bluff anyway and go gobble up that pawn. Makes sense. But I like rook to b1 because it threatens two things. It threatened both bishop b2 and rook takes b7. So he knows that. And he decides, all right, I'm just going to swallow my pride and go for this. But that's definitely better for me, right? I mean, the rook on the 7th rank for the doubled c pawn is certainly something that favored me. Now we have an interesting decision, right? If I take h7 takes, knight g5 check, queen over, gosh, that would seem good. But isn't this just winning a piece? If I didn't know any better, I think I'm just winning a piece. That's a fork down. h7 and c6 are under fire. I'm also threatening bishop to g5, which might even be a more solid way to go win the piece, right? I can play bishop g5, and if he moves the queen, I can take and then take on e7. Yeah, but why do it? Just go this way. Now play here. Continuing to force just a simplification of the whole position here. But there's not a ton of time, so everybody has to be on their A game here. Oh, that's not good for him. That wasn't the best thing that could have happened to his position. All right, and we're even. And we're off. The Rivals has begun. International Master on International Master crime is what we're dealing with here. I'll play a dragon. Okay, he doesn't want it. I don't know what's going on with Keaton here. It's like, what, is he maturing? What's wrong with him? Don't tell me he's not playing the sharpest of craziest openings anymore. Right? Don't tell me he's not doing that. We take here. Now we just develop. I'd like to put the knight on b4. I'd also like to play knight to b6. But perhaps the simplest thing to do is to just develop, right? I know he's going to take and then try to fork me here. I'm not really that worried about it, but I don't see what the easiest way is to deal with it. So I'm just going to make what seems to be kind of an ugly move to have to play. Rook to b8. I want to get castled and then build up pressure to e5. He likes that idea. Because if I take, he gets check. It's an intermezzo. Takes, check, king up. He takes on g5. I take e5. He trades queens. I take. He takes on f7. I take. I'm not sure that that's really bad for me. But it's hard to calculate everything at once, isn't it? All right, so we'll just castle. All right, we'll play this way, I guess. Not a lot of time for me, is there? I should have probably just taken on f3. But he should have taken on e7, avoiding this fork, which he did not see coming. And now we'll go for this, I guess. That seems to make sense for him. Seems what he did makes sense there. Ooh, but that's a fork down. I don't know. Wow, really? I don't think this is going to work. If this was a bullet brawl, I'd be ringing the bell right now, right? Yeah, he walked his own king into a mating net. Should we have our first dragon of the day? I think so. I think so. I've gotten some complaints recently about my squeaky mouse, which I'll be honest, I never really noticed before until now. For some reason, I'm noticing it very loud and clear during this video. So I will be looking into a faster, better mouse. All right, I'll go Daft Punked on that thing. Bigger, better, faster, stronger. So you don't need to worry about that. People are going to be like, Danny, how could you not have noticed it before? It was ugly and gross. What was it? Was it an inconvenience for you? I don't know why I did that. Sorry about that. Building up pressure. We are building up pressure maybe on this vulnerable knight. That would be an idea. Let's take it. I don't know. This doesn't seem like it's going to work out well. uh? Uh? Offer a queen trade? It would seem like a wise decision to not let myself get just checkmated over here. Right? Seems like the dynamic pressure started to favor him and not me. Now maybe I've kind of flipped the script on it and gotten the dynamic pressure back in my favor. Maybe. What's irritating is he's gonna get he's got his rook behind the pawn, which is much better for him than where my rook stands. How to handle this? Push a4 first, or go after this pawn. I feel like I should go after this pawn. Actually, it seems more accurate, and I think I can avoid him winning my h-pawn. Yeah, that was a nice move by me, wasn't it? I thought it was. Maybe he's going to get a draw now. Huh. I don't really want the draw, honestly. I think there's a good chance I could still win this. Got him to make a mistake. Gonna be a draw. All right. Well, it still worked out to a draw, interestingly enough. Felt like maybe I had the upper hand in that rook ending, but let's be honest, it would take way too much effort to back up and look at that, and effort isn't my thing. Not my thing. You know, you'd like to think that anybody who ever made it to international master level, effort should be their thing. But it's not my thing. You know? What was my thing? I don't know. Being lazy. Cheating my way through life. It sounded funnier in my head. As soon as I said it, it sounded like, really? That's not cool. No. Anyway, so what do we have here? This is an interesting one. The bishop pair belongs to black. That's nice. And I'm hoping to prepare b5. He's just going to go and allow it, huh? He says, yeah, I'm not worried about it. I kind of like this. I'm not too worried about that knight coming to b6, to be honest with you. Not really worried about it, yeah? If I play g5, knight d3. Yeah, right. I also have bishop to e5, and then queen to g5, kind of bring the pieces out. Strange, right? Strange town. Because I want to get like f4 and just start operating over here. If knight d3, can I take here and then take e3? Knight takes, rook takes, takes. He gets this. It seems like too much for me to allow that, right? So the question is, what do I want to do then? Do I play f4 and let him exchange everything? I may not be gaining enough. I may not be improving enough. Oh, f4 does threaten to take on h3, though. Huh. Okay, I'm going to back up. Now I'm going to come over here, maybe threaten or bluff to threaten to take that knight. Ooh, wait, isn't that a pawn? Let's see, maybe he'll forget about this h3 tactic. Oh, he did. Oh, no, he didn't. No, he saw it coming. But I'm going to get g5. That makes me awfully happy. Huh. That was a good move. Oh, time. Oh. Okay, he got me. I just blundered under time pressure. Too bad. This was a good one, huh? Seemed to be heading a good direction. But this was a really dangerous position with that pawn on c7. I had trouble figuring it out. Maybe with bishop to c6, queen b6. Perhaps bringing the bishop this other way was kind of like bad from the start. You know, obviously I wanted to play g5 to win the pawn originally, so as soon as he played rook d1, perhaps I should kind of keep the position a little more closed and build back around. Oops, build back around to the king side, you know. I don't know. Interesting game. All right, well, he took the cake on that one. And we are locked in. We are locked into this Chess Rivals. Let's play a little tickle here and see what he likes against the Verisov. Trying to play a little more traditionally, but we'll see what he likes against this business. Just go for it. Sort of flipping the script now, right? Putting him under a little bit of time pressure. I'll play f3 and g4. You know it. You know it, man. He's definitely going to want a queen trade. You know he wants a queen trade now. But I don't really want to allow queen g3 check, do I? Do I have to allow this queen trade? That'd be a little disappointing if I had to allow that. Now, no more queen trade. He wants to trade on f4. Might not be the worst thing that's ever happened to my position, though. Because now if his knight has to go to e6, I get h5 quickly. So I'm still sort of not rolling, but I'm definitely bringing the pressure to the king side here. Right, this is a tough position. I'm going to take here and get the g5 pawn, and if he takes g4, he's opening up the king into his own detriment, right? Opening the king at his own detriment. So now if I take, he takes, I take. Let's just bring the rook over first, or no? Should we not get fancy? Yeah, let's bring the rook over first, because if he plays rook g8, we have this. And now we're going to bring another knight over. Whoa, he can't play f6. That was a miscalculation. Should I just take there and back up, or just go win the exchange? Don't take too much time on it. That's what you shouldn't do. Yeah, certainly my biggest mistake was taking too much time on that. This was a mess. I'm not sure I'm any better here. I definitely messed up letting his pawns get so far. If he gives check and then plays g2, what in the world, right? You know what's crazy is, like, do I have knight f4? Okay, if he got a queen, I would actually have mate. But I think he can promote to a knight. That position was an absolute mess. Trying to make sense of it will make young men grow old, right? At least in terms of bullet. Let's go back to this again, see if he goes for the sharper lines with bishop g5. If he goes for this, I'm happy with that position. All right. This is a, like we said before, this is kind of a solid Benoni. See, and now that he goes that way, now we get a good Blumenfeld, because the key to the knight being on c3 is that it supports e4. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's, this is definitely not the most bueno for him, but we'll see if I can figure it out in bullet. Right? Because it's crazy town. Now I'm gonna go gobble with the queen, let him take, and all right, solid. Figured it out, or did I? He's gonna put the knight on e5 next, as soon as he gets a chance. So go here, and after he plays knight e5, play queen to d5, and offer the queen trade, which he will not take. But then we will play knight to c6 and try to rush forward in our development. In the scenario, if we're evaluating like the long-term features of this position, I've obviously got a lot of good here. I'm up a pawn. I think I'm up a pawn, right? Yeah, I'm up a pawn. And let's get castled. I'm up a pawn, and I have a big center. Planning on getting castled next move. If bishop d3, I just can't play queen h4. Ooh, but now I can play queen h4 with check. If bishop d3, I couldn't play queen h4 because he would have had knight d6 check, winning my queen with a discovery. But I saw that. Now I'll get castled. I'm going to get d5. Very happy about that. If I get d5, he has to move that knight, and then I'm already in a position where I'm undermining this knight. So that's really good. He missed that. Well, that one worked out well for me. I don't think that's a good line in the Benoni. Oh, wow. He's going, he just went John Bartholomew on this, right? He just went Bartholomew. Busted out a Scandinavian. Big time. Big time, big time. We've got this like classical Karo-Slav structure here, right? The issue for him is I'm threatening h5, and if he plays h6 or h5, I actually take g6 and win e6. So this is kind of a common structural problem when there's a knight on e5 and a bishop on g6 is you drive the h-pawn, because they'd like to free the bishop, but if they do, you get the e6 square. So if this is happening, honestly, what he needed is he already needed to be in a position where his... should I keep gobbling? Seems a little bit risky, but then again, a pawn is a pawn, right? Especially if I can trade off. Oh, wait, he has queen e8. Oh, he had queen e8, but he didn't see it. Knight e4 possible. Queen e8, I would have had to sack the exchange. I still would have had some compensation probably, though, honestly. Now this is getting kind of fun because I have the 7th rank, and I'm threatening knight to c5, maybe, in some positions. If he takes h4, knight c5 takes f2. Wait a second. If I play... Okay, what's going on? If I play knight to c5, if he takes everything on d4, I might just go for that, right? Because there's a pretty good chance I'm getting everything I need there, but I don't know. Yeah, I should go for this. Honestly, I should. And just trust in the process, honestly. Trust in the process is what they say. And going this way prevented me from getting in too much trouble, I think. Guarding f2. Now give this check. Just go for it. The queen is always just so dangerous in these scenarios, though. You know what I mean? She really is just the most dangerous of all pieces. Oops, see? And I just blundered that. And it gets worse, huh? What I'm blundering is getting worse. I don't even know what to do right now. I totally messed this up, clearly. We're no longer about whether or not I messed this up. We're trying to figure out if we can sort of just draw the position, right? Oh, he just missed mate. Three-move repetition. Wow. Well, he's going to be irritated that he got a 3-move repetition. But look at that. Oh, he had 1 second? I wasn't even paying attention to that. No. I should have won this game. I should have tried to flag him now. And how in the world did this happen, right? I mean, in this game, this was like right here. He played g3, and I mean, is he not just like mated with any move here, right? Force the king, and I mean, wow. All right. Well, hats off to him for being resourceful. I told you, even with the big advantage, I was worried about the queen because, especially in bullet chess, it's just so hard to coordinate your pieces versus, in a practical game, in a real game, that's winning every single time for players of our level for white. But in a practical game, when the king is open and you're under time trouble, I don't care who you are, it's not easy, right? So when the king is open and you're under time trouble and your opponent has a queen, those situations are where bad things happen. And I blundered away the piece. I was clearly nervous, and so I'm not excited about how I played. But we got to play like Karpov in those scenarios. You got to keep all your pieces protected. That's the thing. You really got to play like Karpov in those scenarios. Okay, so now I'm going to play weird chess, knowing that it's not ideal for me, because I feel like I was distracted and upset about the last game and already kind of screwed up the opening. So if he just takes f6 and just takes h5, that seems just good for him, doesn't it? Well, he doesn't, but I'm happy about that. I got to be honest. I am happy about that decision. Play rook over, I think. I think he was trying for too much there, honestly. I think he should have just settled on the pawn. If takes and takes, I'm up a pawn, right? He does have the h-file, though. The other way to play this is just maintain the tension and play a5 and a4 and go for my own counterplay. Feels like the dragon player thing to do, so I'm going to do it. Not sure it's the computer way to play this position. Right? May not have been the computer way to go, but it was the dragon player's way to go. The dragon player and me. And the dragon player and me just may very well lose the game, right? That's the truth. Should I take f3? Or play rook over, queen there? If rook over, queen there, I don't even know. I'm going to take. I don't even know. I'm going to have to go for the queen trade and hope that the bishop can hold her own against the knight. Wow, that seems like a strange decision for him. Really don't think that was the most accurate thing he could have done. Honestly. I don't like the way I'm playing this. Yeah. I do not like the way this is going. He blundered. He blundered away the game. Take. Wow, I feel bad for him. I mean, I obviously blundered away the last winning position as white, but that was a gift. He blundered with rook d8, so now he's up against it. This is it. Even if I draw, I win the match. So he had to win that one. He was up against the wall. Yeah, so what is the deal with this? Of course I should have played e5 last time, I think, right? But now he's going to play this knight to g4 stuff? No? I honestly don't even know this line or what the deal is. To be totally honest. I'm completely winging this one. He seems to have an idea of what's going on here, where I don't. Seems that way, right? Two ideas. Knight to f5, I can sacrifice the e5 pawn for the e7 pawn, or knight to c4 and guard it first, and if b5 I have knight e3, and I can... So I'm sort of trading, right? I'm trading pawns here. We're trading e for g, which seems to favor him, honestly. That seemed to favor him. Because I have these double pawns now. But I'm going to try to bring the rook to the 7th rank. I think that makes sense. Make him deal with those pawns. If he plays f6, his rook is sort of overloaded on guarding the knight. So now I'm going to go threaten knight f5. If I can play knight f5, hit the rook. Oop, I don't think he saw it coming. This was my idea, overloading the rook on the knight after f6 unreleased the defense. I think that's it. I think he's lost. Still a lot of time on the clock given, but I don't think I'm going to lose this one anymore. And I think that's going to be our first ever rivals between me and Keaton here. I guess just take. There were several ways to do that, but I think that made most sense. Of course, if he took there, I had 97. All right, now it just make way, clear the way for the pieces here. Yeah. All right, well, I feel bad about that last dragon one. Definitely would have made this a much closer match if he wins that game, and pressure's on, right? But that's how it is in chess rivals. You get blows going back and forth. I got my hoodie on today, so it makes me feel like a boxer, right? Like, yo, Adrian, right? Yo. Wait, no, that's not a Philadelphia. Yo, we watch it. Anyway, this has been another Chess Rivals. Look for the next episode between me and Bartholomew coming out soon. I got a rivalry going with Blitzstream. We got a rivalry going with Keaton. We got rivalries all over the place. In fact, maybe I need to look at something that I keep creating rivals in my life. Right? Make love, not war. Danny. All right, that's my meditation for the day. Thanks, everybody. We out.